Hey, this is Intercactus. So, you guys really took well to the last team building ramblings video, which I think is cool because I really enjoyed making it. So I'm going to continue the series, and hopefully this becomes a series that doesn't stop at 2 episodes like the other ones I've tried to did, mainly like the Origin one and the Mission Battle one. This one should hopefully go a bit further. So last time we did Mono Slippery, you can check that video out if you want, and this time somebody has specifically requested me to make a team around El Gutso, and if I'm being totally honest, I would love to. I really like El Gutso in comp. However, I could not be fucked grinding prestigious treasure for him, so what we're gonna do is use Gutso Grande instead. I know in my last video I slammed evolutions like Gutso Grande because he just doesn't do anything that El Gutso can't. Basic Gutso is better in every single way, but Gutso Grande is better for lazy people because he's already A rank, so like, and B rank Gutso is fine, but you'd usually want to have him ARS anyway because that's when his stats actually start getting good. The only thing I'm really losing here is that he's a slower charging ultimate, but with the team I'm planning to make anyway, I think it won't matter too much, but it's still going to be a bit of an annoyance. So we're just going to get started with this. What I want to do first, this is going to be a Mono Brave team, and Mono Brave teams are pretty easy to construct. This mightn't be the longest video in the world, but I'm just going to try and build up a kind of Mono Brave core and see where we can go from there. So I feel like the most important thing to have first is a Samureel, because Mono Brave boosting, your main, really kind of not your only option, but your main option is Samureel, and usually he'd want to run a Shielding Soul, so we're going to start with that, but it might change in the future. So we'll just have him as a tank in the back and wait for his, they usually like wait for his ultimate to charge, bring him out, do the thing, have him tank a bit, and then switch him out for another tank. But he is alright tank stats, it'd be better at a higher rank, but you can see here he's making to be good as a tank, stat wise, so he could, once you rank him up a bit, he'll be fine. But this is what we're really looking for, is just this ultimate, so we can boost Gutso Grande, and hopefully we might have another attacker, I don't know. Let's see. So I'm just gonna finish. I'm thinking Mono Brave, but we might deviate, possibly. And what I'm actually thinking, as much as I want to use Gutso Grande, I have another idea for a team. And I'm gonna stick with it for now. I just got an idea, so I might just make another ramblings video right after this because I have another idea in mind, but for now we're just going to keep working on this. So I think we should go with Flip It, because like he can do tanking and he can protect us against the slip up, which is probably going to be a decently big weakness here. Because what I'm thinking is we have another attacker. I think what I want is an Origin with the kind of the bitter batter, the kitter catter, as I like to call it, that build. So let me see if I can actually find the dude first. There he is. It's fast. So what I want out of him is, where is it? So yeah, I want him to be the kind of the magic attacking build where you can still fit it. It's probably the easiest way to fit magic damage on a Brave team, because like you wouldn't think magic damage would be important on Brave teams, but there are like yokai like Q-Bot and just generally yokai with high defense that you want magic attacks to be able to break through. So I think it's important you have either Origin, a Hinix, or both, which I might have a Hinix here, but for now we're just going to stick with the Origin and see where it goes. So we want to give him skill him up, and we want to give him persistence, Matronian skill, and we want this ultimate. It's also going to be nice support with this because it can hit the back rows, which isn't something the Brave tribe can easily do, so that'll be helpful. And then as for the technique we want to give him, I don't actually have them all. I don't have that many. So, but we don't want Reaper definitely or Paradise. I think water is just generally going to be good. we'll stick with that. So we have our magic Originian. And now I don't actually think we need a Hinix. We might be using him at some point, but I don't know. I think I'm happy with this. So we have him at the start, and this is also going to be... Well, now, the issue here is that he'll die to hazards anyway. Yeah. So maybe there's a better choice here. I think we can afford to use another tank over Flip It because it's actually not going to be as useful as I first imagined. Corpton, really only good with Mython. His stats are great, don't get me wrong, he's probably going to be a great tank anyway, and water is a common enough weakness in Brave tanks, like it's really common for the Brave tribe. Because like, your best tank options, BBQville, he's weak to water, Hinix is weak to water, Samureel resist it, so I don't actually think we need it. But still, it's an important thing to note, is just Brave tribe yokai are generally really weak to water. So I don't know, I'll have to think about it. I might change this out for voltage, but at the same time Samureel does save us a bit from that, so I think we're fine for now. Take another look through the Brave tribe, see what we can get. What are we thinking for him? So we could just have him there with a stealth soul like he usually has. And then he just does his thing, he just chills. But then at the same time, we can't have all three of these out at once because then we have no tanks. I could do something actually where I have these at the front. I don't have the Originian, I have a Hinix instead as a tank, but also a magic attacker. That could be interesting. Yeah, let's do that for now and see how it develops over time and see if we need to change anything. But this should be good for now. What are we going to replace the Flip It with? This is a tough one. It's like, why is it a tough one? The slip up protection won't actually be that useful. And actually with this setup, I don't know, because Hinix has good enough strength so he can do combo damage well. He can do the combo if he needs to, and then we could just give the Gutso a stealth soul and have it be like that. But what if I'm fighting Brutals or Assaultimate? Spam team. For now, I think we're just going to do this. We're going to put him back here and give him a, what's it called? Where is it? Tsushiyama soul. So he can actually guard break. Yeah. I'm gonna remove Flip It. So we have 2 spots left, 1 S slot. So what are my S rank options? This is weird. Could use Bisha to protect from solar. Potentially we could do that, or what else could we do? We could have a Righteous Dazzle. I am really liking Righteous Dazzle as of recent, actually. I'm quite enjoying using him. We could just have a Durago, but that's kind of cheating, because like, he's just going to end up as our main attacker at that point. So yeah, I think Bisha's fine here for now, but we might change it out at some point. And now we have 1 slot left. I don't know if I want another tank, because like, we already have 3, because he's going to have Shielding Soul. And will you have Shielding? He kinda needs Shielding though, because like, it's really the only way he'll be able to take physical damage at all. But we could also potentially give him a, what's it called, Fukurokuju soul, or any soul that has that effect. And he could be like a Momonyan style tank, so where he just stays alive, tanks for a bit, dies, heals, and then comes back, tanks for another bit, dies, heals, and then you bring in one of your other tanks, which could potentially work. I am kind of interested in that idea, actually. I don't have that soul though on this file, but I'll consider it, because I do like the idea. And then for this last slot, BBQ would be like the default that a lot of people would go for. I might, but there could be other options. I could use Liarbird, because this team doesn't have a Peerless on it. It's pretty weakness ultimates, so maybe a Liarbird pivot would be nice. Yeah, and then we have the strength unity, the big strength unity, the birth unity thing, and then we just give him. I actually think I just saw a team this morning from Mitake, great team designers from Japan and comp players, and they used him with a weightless soul to protect against hazardous ultimates, so you can kind of just counter whatever. And I do like the idea of that, so I forget how to make one though, I don't have it. Let me look that up. Let's have a look. We have to use Japanese wikis for this game. It's so annoying. Let me actually try and stick that up on screen. I'm still very new to this recording software, so let's see. Oh, we'll capture from Google. Yeah. Oh, now it's capturing too. Oh, okay. Not technical difficulties. Okay, he's after the guy who's asked me to do the thing, do this team is just after sending me a whole guide. So let me read through this. So never mind. I don't think he's getting the team I'm trying to go for. So anyway, this is the site we have to use. This is the site I use most of the time. It's called Gamepedia. I'll leave a link to it in the description. It's very helpful. You will have to search. Oh, fuck. Sorry, I'm just after fucking slamming my finger on my desk and it went under my. Oh, that's actually really painful. Sorry. Fuck. Okay. I'm just gonna stick through it and look for the soul. Heavy soul. So if I remember correctly, it's Slacks and Afronaut. Yeah. So I'm gonna go befriend those two, and I'll be back when I have that soul gem.
20 minutes later.
Alright, we are back, and I have a weightless soul. Had to do a Blaster's Tea dungeon for the Slacks, but it didn't take too long to find Afronaut, which is weird because every time I've tried to find an Afronaut recently, it's just been a nightmare, and I could not tell you why. He's just hard to find for no reason. It's so annoying. But yeah, so this... You can run other items on Liarbird, but my favourite is the Weightless Soul, because like, it means he can counter just every ultimate. He's just immune to every single ultimate. I can't think of a ultimate that ignores both this skill and the Weightless Soul, other than Umbral Enma's ultimate. I do know Umbral Enma's ultimate ignores dodge, so keep an eye out for that, but everything else should be fine. And Umbral isn't too common anyway, he's decently gimmicky. Like, the team I have with him uses 2 and then 4 suicides, which is very easily countered by a lot of things, but it's not the only way to run him. You can also use him on like teams with... You can just use him on a ultimate spamming kind of team, where like, since this ultimate just one-shots everything, like, it's specifically coded to one-shot everything. It's not just like, oh, this is a strong ultimate, it's pretty much going to one-shot anything. No, it literally will. So there are teams where you can run 2 and then like maybe with charged souls, or just like with Imagine Yan and just have them there, just using this ultimate as when they can to try and kill as much as possible, and then the rest of your team is kind of built around lining them up for it. But nobody's going to really use Daze, Confuse, Bent Over, Dark Nyan, so the only thing they really have to worry about is Liarbird. And even then, Liarbird isn't that common. Like, he's a good pivot. One of the better pivots in the game. Because, like, he's got a very specific purpose. Especially on this kind of team, because usually what I just do is I give my yokai a Peerless Soul and just have them there so that they can at least take one ultimate. But the Gutso here is using the guard breaking soul instead, so I kind of need this Liarbird to just come in and be able to take a ultimate for him, because otherwise he just will die to his ultimates. He's decently bulky, he's got alright defense and good HP and over 300 HP, which is a good marker, but he's still gonna die to a lot of stuff, so to like any mostly really strong ultimate, or at least take insane damage from it. So being able to have a Liarbird just to have a bit of extra, like a safety net against ultimates, probably going to be very helpful. Again, I tested the last one. I don't know if I'm going to test this one, because I just built that Pandora team and I don't really feel like building a new team. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with what I have. And also on my 4 team, my official teams are filled. Like, it's so annoying how you can only save 4 teams. I'm gonna start saving the ones I built from now on, just so I can have a kind of list of the ones I've built. There. I'm gonna save it here instead, and wish you could delete the rest of them. It's very annoying, but I digress. I don't really think there's anything else to say here. It's just it's probably a good team. You can build it yourself and tell me, but I'm happy with how it came out. If I were to change anything, first off, if you're going to build this, don't be lazy like me. Take the Gutso Grande, throw him away, get a normal Gutso, and use Prestigious Treasure to get him up to A rank, because that's going to be more helpful for you. And you could probably replace the Bisha with maybe Corpton or like another Hinix potentially, but it should be fine, should be good for you. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't think there's anything else to say. Just what counters this team though? Switcheroo kinda, mostly. It was like there's a big gaping flaw with mono brave teams, where it's like your team is so focused on physical damage that if you come up against Switcheroo or that team with Dragon where he has a 2 percussionist souls and he just counters physical attackers immediately, like, you're gonna be fucked. So you need to have a good mix. I'd say on every mono brave team you should either use a Hinix or an Origin Yan, because of that one thing, because of there are archetypes that just completely cripple physical attacking teams. I do like me some teams that are they don't tie themselves to one element, but I prefer physical attacking teams. I don't know why, they're just so much more fun to build than magic teams. I'm not saying magic teams aren't fun to build though, like this Pandora team I've got on the row on cart, so fun. They just don't die unless you're fighting like Gutso or Lubu, and I have a Sprunk to deal with those anyway, so I was gonna make a video about that double Pandora team, but I built it so fast and it's so good that I don't think I need to. One thing I will mention though, if you've seen the community post and you see the Eusebion GI, I don't actually think that's necessary. Don't get me wrong, Eusebion GI is great support. He is... No, I don't know if I call him good support. The skill you would imagine is useful on Pandora teams, and it is, don't get me wrong, but Pandora is like, it's coded to always use the technique anyway, so I don't even think it's actually fucking me over yet by not having it. So I had to, if you're gonna steal that team, at least take out the GI and put in a Sprink or a Repossessor, because otherwise it's gonna get slammed by Lubu or Durago. Just any strong guard breaking wall breaker is gonna just tear it apart. So you need that physical wall, and Sprink is definitely the best option out of those, because he will help line up the ultimates for Pandora and N4. But I'm getting off topic very quickly. That is all I have to say. Goodbye.